So first we're going to start making our batter. So we're going to start off with 1 egg. We're going to add in about 3 tablespoons of milk. So I'm using almond milk. You can use whatever milk you want. If you want to use a dairy-free approach, go ahead and use almond milk, cashew milk, literally anything. Alright. So next I'm going to add in about a teaspoon of cinnamon. Then I'm going to add in a teaspoon of vanilla. So I have the imitation vanilla. If you have the real thing, that's even better. I'm on a budget. So about a teaspoon of that. And then just to give it a little bit of sweetness, we're going to add a tablespoon of sugar. And then we're just going to go ahead and mix this up. So I use a fork. You can use a whisk if you want. So just mix for a few minutes until everything is well combined. And then that is your batter. Now let's move on to our bread. So with your bread, you could choose any bread you want. I'm using this Ezekiel bread just to be a little more healthy. Now normally I would use like a brioche just because it's thicker, but brioche isn't really on the health conscious side, so we're just going to use Ezekiel. So now what we need to do is heat up a pan and then get started. So I'm going to put it on about medium high. So I'm going to let this heat up and then I'll be right back. Now while I'm letting this heat up, I am going to warm up some berries. So I just have some frozen mixed berries that I got from Trader Joe's. I'm just going to put that over a low heat for a few minutes just to let it reduce down. And so those berries are going to be cooking down in the background, so I'll be checking on them periodically. So we're just going to put the bread in the batter, flip it over, make sure it's nice and coated. Then we're going to let it drip a little bit, and we're going to place it right in the pan. Let it drip, let it drip. And then we're going to do the same thing with the other ones. Alright, so now we're just going to let these cook for a few minutes, and then we're going to flip them over. So now I'm going to go ahead and start flipping. So I flipped the first one already, and you see it has some nice color around the edges. Now as you can see, along the perimeter of my pan it is a little more cooler, so it's not cooking as evenly as I wanted it to, but you know what, that's what happens when I try to condense. Okay, now we're going to start on the berries. So I have this over a medium heat. And then this is about a cup of those frozen berries. I added in about a teaspoon of vanilla. If you want, you can add sugar. I'm actually going to avoid the sugar just because I think berries are sweet enough as it is. So we're just going to let that go for a few minutes, let it reduce a little bit, and let the berries cook all the way through. Alright, so that has thickened and that looks great. So I'm going to turn off the heat, remove it, and then we'll start assembling. Okay, we have our French toast on a plate, so we're just going to top it with our berries. Now one thing you can also do is layer it, so between each layer just add some of these berries on there. I want to get some strawberry. Okay, and now we're going to top it with some powdered sugar. So I'm just going to sift the powdered sugar over the top. Now it's not going to stick too much on the actual berries just because they're wet, but it will stick everywhere else. And I don't know about you, but I like a lot of powdered sugar. I know that's counterproductive to the healthiness of it, but it's Ezekiel bread, so it's fine. And then your French toast is done.